What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic night. Been one hell of a long damn day. I'm ready to sit here, talk some birds with you. Not a live video, but still love to hear from you. Any questions, comments that you have, leave them down below. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button, sharing this stuff, subscribing. Hope you're all having a great day, great week. It's Friday tomorrow. Game coming up Sunday night. Gonna have to wait all day. Feel like 300 hours, but got a little something to get you by until that time. So we've got the top 13 matchups as we do each week. Talking about week 12 here, Eagles, Rams, and this is going to be a fun one. So we've got all the stuff you need to know before we get into that. So today's injury report, the stats, rankings, standings for both of the teams, both their depth charts, injury lists, and practice squads. So we'll get to know everything so that way you can decide who the top matchups are. You can let me know who your top matchup is, top 5, top 10, top 20, whatever you got on your mind. Let's rock and roll here. Appreciate you guys. Let's jump right into it. Take a look at how both teams are doing so far this year until, week 12 here. We're getting a little bit closer. I can feel it now. I'm like, holy like in a couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about how the playoffs are coming. So the Eagles got to stay on that hot streak. 7th in points, 5th in total yardage, 1st in rushing, 22nd in passing. And as we always say with stats, take them with a grain of salt. We don't need to throw the ball that much. When we do, we get it done. Cleaned up, turning the ball over. Love to see that. The sacks still every once in a while, some of these games coming at us. So we got to protect the quarterback here. And then you see the defense. Let them haters hate. 6th in against the points there, points per game. You got total yardage 1st. Oh, my. We talked about this a couple months ago. This time would come. Here we are. 7th against the run. 2nd against the pass. Tied for 8th in sacks. Tied for 12th in turnovers. Let's effing go. Let's continue to build on that. But got a tough opponent here this week. You see the Rams, 21st in points, 17th in yardage. And look, they had some injuries, so take all this with a grain of salt. But even with their offensive line injuries, tied for 9th in sacks allowed. You see tied for 11th in turnover. So the offense still playing well. Still got Matthew Stafford at quarterback, Sean McVay, the coach there. So this is an offense you got to watch out for. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, we talked about this in behind enemy lines. 22nd in points, 23rd in total yardage, but 11th in sacks, 10th in turnover. So this is a defense that can definitely make plays. They've got a lot of young talent. Take the stats with a grain of salt because this is a very young, talented defense we'll take a look at here. But let's take a look at where both these teams are in the division and conference. So Eagles, number 1 in the East at 8-2, just solidified that last Thursday, whooping the hell out of the Commanders. And now you continue building on that, prove that you're number 1 there, not only in the East, but in the NFC. So on the West side, you can see the Rams are 2nd. All these guys in the hunt for the number 1 place in the West there. So should be intriguing to see how that plays out. Hilarious that the 49ers are 5-5. But you can see here in the NFC, the Rams are the top spot in the hunt. So they want to get that wild card spot. I am really, really tired. I apologize. Losing my mind. But you can see the Eagles number 2 looking to get to number 1. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Right there. Climbing that ladder. We talked about it. People freaking out when we were like number 8. Hey, look. And we were even lower than that. But this team, they continue to prove that obviously it takes time when you have new coordinators, new players, young players. It's going to be all right. I promise you this team will win the Super Bowl. This team will continue to build on what they're doing, but 1 week at a time. So let's talk about this week. And we've got some injuries. And, yesterday you saw a few people did not practice. Today, it's still Huff. He's going to be out for a few weeks, probably placed on IR. We'll see if that happens here. And we'll see if they bring Covey off. But Devontae Smith did not practice again. And this has been happening in certain weeks. We'll pay attention tomorrow because if he's limited or full, we'll see if he gets a Q tag. But he has been perfectly fine. A lot of these guys they want to be precautious with. You can see Milton Williams was limited along with Hunt today. So that's great news. Dean and Hurts, full participants. So you see in green there, that is what has changed when it comes to their designations. Now, the Rams here, they added Kevin Dotson, their right guard, with an illness. They already have their left tackle and right tackle there. Havenstein came back to practice. He was limited all the guys that were limited yesterday were all full participants. So great news for them. Backup Charles Woods did not practice again. And again, Dotson was out with that illness. So that's what's going on with the injuries. Tomorrow is the game status report. You'll know who's out, who's questionable, all that great stuff. But let's take a look at what this team looks like right now. And again, you'll get that updated depth chart, everything with that game status report tomorrow. But let's start with the Eagles. You can see their practice squad here. Two of these guys can be elevated for the game on Sunday. We'll see if the Eagles decide to do that. Maybe bring up Uzomah again. Maybe, they feel a certain way about losing Huff, so they bring up Teron Jackson or Naney there. We'll see what they do on Saturday, but here is the list of their practice squad. Now let's take a look at their IR. Bradbury Clark, but Britton Covey, you see the asterisk there because he is designated to return, so he could be back this week. He has 3 weeks, so we'll see what goes down there. But for now, this is what the team looks like. Covey not back on the active roster just yet, but you can see here this offense perfectly healthy and ready to show the world they are the number one offense in this league. Run the damn ball. And then the defensive side of the ball, everybody good to go here. Obviously, Huff going to be placed on IR, so not him, but we'll keep you up to date with what's going on. But this defense continues to prove why I've been talking so much smack about why they will be the number one defense by the end of the year. And look, I don't care what people have to say about this defense. They honestly just don't know what they're talking about. They will become fans of it soon enough. Now, the special teams, I would love to see Britton Covey come back so we don't have to have DeJean back there, punt returner anymore. Please, for the love of God. Maybe Covey can do something. Shipley can do something. We're going to talk about that here. But the special teams would love to have Covey back. Now, the Rams, they've got an assload of defensive players and a few offensive players here. This is their practice squad. If they need to elevate anyone for the game, here are their options. And we've got a lot of guys on IR here. Leviston is designated to return. Now, the crazy thing is, when he comes back, I think they only have one more designation to use. You can only use 8 in a year. And bringing guys like off of IR, and they've done that 7 times already. So, well, it will be with Leviston. So we'll see who else they decide. Reader's on there, Johnson's on there. So very intrigued to see what goes down there. Higbee still on that PUP list. Offensive side of the ball, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, my Lord, with Stafford throwing him the ball. Got the young man Davis Allen with Colby Parkinson there. And look, Demarcus Robinson is a talented guy. Kyron Williams, talented running back. So is the rookie Blake Corum. Offensive line has some injuries, but I'll keep you up to date with that. Here is their defense and a lot of really good rookies here in Fisk, Verse, and also Spates and Kinchins. Even Jalen McCullough, I think he has like 4 interceptions. They really drafted well. We talked about that on Behind Enemy Lines the other day. Go check that video out. We talked about the Rams, a really young, promising team here. And, guys like Corum and Whittington on offense as well, helping out in the special teams department. So they've got a lot of talent here. And, I don't care. Their record's 5-5. I don't care the stats say they're, in the 20s when it comes to points and yardage. This is a tough test for the Eagles, Sunday Night Football in their house. And you cannot sleep on anyone, but this is a really good team. So that's all the info you need to know. Now let's look at the top matchups. You can tell me who you think the top matchups are, but let's jump into it. We'll start off, and as I always do, talk a little special teams. So, Covey, let's come on back now. And hell, if Gainwell wants to run one back, somebody in the special teams department, I am all about it. But you see Corum and Whittington there. Those are 2 very talented rookies for the Rams, and Xavier Smith in there too. This is a game of inches, as they say. So special teams needs to step it up. I would love to have Covey back. So let's see if anyone can get things going. Now let's start with the Eagles offense against the Rams defense here. And, I really think that they have such a talented young D, but I wanted to talk about our defense last with their offense, just the way I do it with this show. Take what you will with the numbers, but just a way for us to talk about the matchups in the game. So Dallas Goedert, he's back. Last year, I think he had over 100 yards against these guys. So we need to just come out and be ourselves. And if you can get your tight end involved, let's go. But they've got decent linebackers. Here are their safeties. So a lot of guys are going to be helping against Goedert, even corners. But you've got Lake, you've got Cam Curl there, you've got McCullough, the rookie we talked about. The Quentin Lake, Cam Curl, it's a nice combo, man. And I think, you don't want to sleep on those guys. I really think it's going to be a tough test for Goddard, but Goddard's one of the best tight ends in the game when he's healthy. So go do some work, put up another big game here, and let's go whoop some Rams ass. And at number 12 or 11 here, I think that these wide receivers, we're talking about the pass game, and, they've got Darius Williams. They just got rid of Tre'Davious White, traded him to the Ravens. They've got Witherspoon there. They've got Durant. Kinchins, he can play, that nickel spot, he can play the safety. This rookie is very talented, and they got themselves a little stud there, but they've got themselves a tough matchup when it comes to A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith a little banged up, so maybe Covey comes back, use him a little. Nia Smith is getting involved. Johnny Wilson's getting involved. So not just Dotson, but we've got a plethora of weapons here, and obviously the top two, Brown and Smith. Let's feed them. And I think that obviously, A.J. Brown, the best receiver, top three in this game. You want to talk about Chase and Jefferson? Yes, but A.J. Brown is a stud, 18.7 yards per catch. Only 3 touchdowns this year, but you know how we like to get our touchdowns, and they take away for the stat watchers, but we know how damn good Brown is. We know Devontae Smith, one of the most slept-on wide receivers in the game, a top 10 wide receiver as well. So looking forward to whooping those corners' asses. But the run game, I think we all know how I feel about running the damn ball. So Saquon's up to 1,137 yards already, 5.8 yards per carry in Week 12. Holy, 8 rushing touchdowns, and the dude also has 2 receiving touchdowns, averaging 9.1 yards per reception. And look, Roseboom, he's a decent linebacker. Spates is filling in for Troy Reeder, but the rookie is looking good, and he's going to have himself a tough task here trying to tackle a guy like Saquon Barkley. So they're going to do their best to shut him down, but I don't give a damn. Run the damn ball right down their throats, and I think we'll be just fine. Now, obviously, we're going to need the line to step up, and we talked about it with behind enemy lines. I think that Fisk, oh my God, because you talk about Jared Verse, how good he is. Yeah, but I think they overlook Fisk here. This kid is a stud, but he's got a tough task in front of him, as well as Turner, Brown, and Davis there, going up against Dickerson, Juergens, and Becton. This offensive line proving White is one of the best in the game. Juergens, man, really making us forget about Kelsey. Never forget him. Always a legend, love him, but on the field, the dude looks just like him. So you don't even remember half the time. It's awesome. So hopefully he just continues to develop and get better his first year at center here for the Eagles. So I'm loving it, man. But they've got themselves a tough task with these young guys, and looking forward to that battle. Now, on the outside of the line here, Mailata back. Let's have it go. And Lane Johnson, 2 of the best tackles in the game. They're the best duo in the game. I don't give a damn what anybody says. They've got a tough task here. Young man Byron Young. I mean, Jared Verse is going for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Young, another stud from last year, their rookie. I think that is quite a combo. You got Hoyt there. You got a couple other guys, but I think that, these dudes are not to be slept on in any way, shape, or form, but we've got the best tackles in the game. So feeling comfortable there, but going to be a wild game. And Hurts, don't hold on to the ball too much. Watch out, for these guys coming from behind. They are a team that likes to cause turnovers too, so watch out for these young guys. Jared Verse trying to prove he's Defensive Rookie of the Year, but we got one of those guys too. We'll talk about him here shortly. And then last year for the offense, Jalen Hurts going up against this Rams defense. And we talk about it. Look, giving up points, yards, that's fine. But this defense causes turnovers. They will get after Jalen Hurts. And I think that, for me, Jalen Hurts is playing at an MVP level. I hear all the haters. I hear people still to this day are commenting stuff and trying to talk crap, and that's fine. I understand people follow the media and are still mad that they were wrong about Jalen Hurts or just have a vendetta or just whiny. I don't know, whatever. But Jalen Hurts is him. And he has a tough task here that I think another game where he goes out here and proves to not only everyone else, but just himself, most importantly, that he is continuing to grow in this league and become that all-around quarterback. And I love his game, and I cannot wait to see him smoke those Rams. Now let's go to their offense and our defense. City Brown is back. Continue using him as that weapon. You got Gardner Johnson here, Blankenship. Their tight ends, Davis Allen, Parkinson. They've got Hunter Long there as well, but they're decent. Higbee on PUP list still. I think this Eagles team should be able to contain them with their linebackers, our safeties. But Sidney Brown, he's just going to keep getting more and more involved in this defense, and that makes me more and more excited. Let's see some awesome play from the safeties. They've been playing lights out. Love to see it. But no missed tackles. Let's do our thing. Great in coverage, and I'll feel very good. But, you can make things easier by getting pressure. And Noteboom, Havenstein, whether or not they play, they are banged up. And we, have Huff out for this game most likely, but obviously for a few weeks. They just haven't said that yet. Anyways, you got Smith, you got Sweat, you got Graham still, Nolan Smith. Ooh, baby, making all those people calling him a bust look like fools. And you love to see it. So, Jalen Hunt, I think you all know I talked about him before the draft, one of my pre-draft fits for the Eagles. Oh, yes, it's time. And he's on the injury report, but he'll be just fine, I promise you. He's going to get some action here. Just need to continue to let him develop. If he doesn't get 10 sacks in the next 2 games, do not listen to the media talking about trading him. He's a bust, all that. I promise you the kid has a very bright future here. Cannot wait to see these guys, but also the interior D-line. Jalen Carter last year had a couple sacks against the Rams. Dude is a wrecking ball. Played every snap last week and will continue to get better and better, man. So Avila, Jonah Jackson, Dotson, best of luck to ya. And Avila was out for practice with an illness. We'll see if he's good to go. They added Jackson this year, maybe to try to stop Carter, but you've also got Davis, you got Williams, you got Ajomo, you've got Booker there. So let's effing go get those, all starts in the trenches. So looking forward to those battles. Now, their run game, Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. Now, Kyron Williams, Sean McVay finds ways to get that dude the ball, whether he's running the ball, catching the ball, returning the ball. Dude can do it all. But they added Blake Corum in this draft out of Michigan, and that kid runs tough as nails. So they've been getting him a little more into this offense. And our linebackers, have been playing great, especially Zach Bond. Dean has had his ups and downs, but, man, we have to bring our A game here, try to shut them down, make them one-dimensional. And, that's definitely going to be a tough time half the time when you've got talented backs, but we have a really talented defense that is really coming into their own. And, Vaughn is leading the team in tackles with 102. You got Dean behind him at 76. Like, holy, pretty wild. So a great addition. Let's continue to build on that and shut that run game down. And you can make them one-dimensional, but they still have a guy named Matthew Stafford who is still playing at a high level. And right now, he's got over 2,500 yards, 255.7 yards per game, 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He's been sacked 21 times. So not giving up too many sacks or turnovers here. And look, this Eagles defense, they've been getting turnovers. They've been getting sacks. And that's something we have been begging for and something I told you in time would come. Had to be patient. This is a very complex defense. And I know a lot of people wanted Vic Fangio fired after the first few weeks, but I'm telling you, this dude is a genius, and this defense is only going to get better. Tough test here Sunday night against Matthew Stafford. This dude, he continues to prove, that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the game, and he's got some talented guys to throw the ball to. So we have to shut him down. Let's talk about those guys. So number 1 matchup here, Cooper Kupp. Oh, Cooper versus Cooper is my favorite. Cooper Kupp versus Cooper DeJean, but you've got Puka Nacua, you've got Demarcus Robinson, Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay, and we talk about Quinyon Mitchell. That is my pick for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know it's not going to show in the stats, but this dude is locked down, and he does not give up any turnovers or touchdowns. And you have seen he needs to get a turnover, but you have seen this dude, going up against the top receivers and just smoking them. Now, Coop DeJean, we all know how I feel about both these guys, and the fact that we got them this year in the draft, you remember how ecstatic I was on day 1 of the draft, and then day 2 of the draft, getting my guy Coop. I'm still kind of in shock, and I think that, they're going to just get better and better, but they are the future here, and whoever wants to be the future with them, it's Rodgers or Ricks or Ringo, that's fine. But wow, they are good, and they have themselves a tough test. Now, Cooper Kupp was banged up for a little while there. Puka Nacua was banged up for a little while there. So we talked about, they had some injuries, but this is, very talented wide receiving core. Puka Nacua has a touchdown, 13.3 yards per catch. Kupp is only at 10.4, 4 touchdowns. He's only played in 6 games. So We all know who these dudes are. They mean business, man, and that's great because so do the Philadelphia Eagles, and these young players are only getting better each and every week. This defense, this offense, everybody gonna get rolling as we talked about at the right time, and that's what we're doing right now. So keep this train rolling. Let's ride right through those LA Rams. But again, it's going to be a tough matchup, man. This is a good team. You can't sleep on anyone, but I'm ready for a good game, ready for the Eagles to prove they are the best team in the NFL. And you got to win it 1 week at a time before we get that trophy back. But I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any thoughts, any kind of questions, anything you want to talk about, leave a comment down below. If you guys need anything else, you need a friend, anything going on, I say it because I mean it. Reach out any of these platforms. I always am here for you guys as you are for me. Just want you to know, take care of yourselves and do not go through stuff alone. I used to do that. That's why we always extend our love in these parts, right? I love you guys and I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great week. It is Friday. Eagles football is coming, so find joy just in that. And look, hope you all had a great day. Hope you have a great rest of your night. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this bad boy, subscribe to the channel, join the family. I'll be back tomorrow. Game status report will be dropped. Who's in, who's out, who's questionable, can I talk? And then we'll have Fan Friday, of course, taking all of your questions, topics, comments, everything under the sun. Whatever you guys got going on up there, I want to hear about it. So hope to see you then. But until then, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!